Hello YouTube, today we're talking about the old bluegrass standard, Don't Give Your Heart to a Rambler. Hey guys, as always, thanks for watching Wayne's World of Mandolin. I appreciate the support. If you get something out of the videos here, please subscribe and hit the like. Give me a thumbs up on some of this stuff. And also, if you want to support through a tip jar, I have a PayPal account, and you'll find a good email for that, as well as a place to reach out for Skype lessons if you're interested. This video I want to send out and a special thank you to Mr. John Woodcock, who's a big supporter of the channel, and he hooked me up with this Washington Huskies hoodie. He's noticed that I love to wear hoodies and do that a lot of the time here on the channel. And this one's feeling good. It's April 2nd here, but a cool night in South Carolina. But anyway, glad to get to do this. We've been busy around here with some projects going on at the house, and I haven't been able to put as much out lately as I want to, but this one's going to be fun. One of my favorite singers ever in bluegrass was Tony Rice. I'm sure a bunch of you guys feel that way. Really influenced me as a young musician listening to the Bluegrass album band recordings, as well as his solo projects. And this is a jam session tune. It's one of those B-flat songs that a lot of different arrangements. There was a mandolin intro on the Rice's recording of this from a really, I think maybe his first solo project, but most of the jam sessions that I've done this in, the tune was introed by the banjo. We did this one some with a band that I played with as a teenager called Livewire, and I'm pretty sure we had a banjo intro on this one when we played it. But great tune, check it out. There's a lot of history in this as well. I'm going to go ahead and just play the solo as kind of what my spin on it would be, out of the key of B flat. Okay, you may have noticed the back half of that very much like the J.D. Crowe banjo solo that you could be familiar with. But this tune in B-flat demonstrates the movement as we would follow the chord progression, which is B-flat to E-flat to F. Those three chords of the 1-4-5 chord progression and the shapes that you're going to find your fingers in. Watch how the pickup notes lead up to the third scale degree, which in this case is a D note. 1, 2, 3, up to that D note. We could think of that. There's the B flat major scale with your index finger starting on the first fret of the A string. If you're not following along with that, you can find other content here on the channel and kind of catch up, and then maybe come back to this video later. There's also a couple of different videos about this whole intro or pickup notes, whatever you want to call it, but watch what I'm playing here. If you were introing the song, after that slide from the minor third to the major third, that's where the rest of the band would start playing. That's why those would be referred to as pickup notes, if you, especially on the front of a tune if you're playing the intro. But even in the middle of the song, if you're playing a solo, those breaks are leading up to the third scale degree. So many times when we do that, it's either going to be the root, the third, or the fifth scale degree that our pickup notes would lead to. So we want those to be really strong. Notice that it's a double stop. The first thing that I'm playing is the pick through both pairs, the D and the A strings. Then I have two single notes on the 5th fret of the D and the 1st fret of the A string. and then the slide. I wouldn't want to play directly on to that D note. It would sound really happy. So it's bigger if I play the F note along with it and make it a double stop. And it's also just a little bluegrassier or spicier, whatever you want to call it, to slide from the minor third to the major third. So we want that really solid right out of the gate. That's such an important embellishment. Look again, I have single notes, 3rd fret to 1st fret on the E string, and you're going to recognize those again as intervals of that B flat scale. There it is again, the minor third, not playing that note, but as I like to say, it's like you're flirting with that note. This time it's a hammer-on from the 3rd to the 4th fret, and then backwards, back down to the root note, which is honestly where we started with that first double stop. Now right up the scale, there we go. We just landed on the E flat chord. That's where the rhythm section would be right now, and we're following that melody. I did the same thing with a slide from the minor third to the major third to lead into that E flat chord. Now we're going to go to F. Look at that one. To get to that F note, same thing. Flirting with the minor third. Now the scale under our fingers would be F. There's the F scale. There would be that minor third. And it would sound, again, kind of happy if I hammered on to the A note, which would be the 3rd scale degree. It doesn't sound like bluegrass at all, does it? It doesn't sound like the song. So that line, same thing. Flirt with that minor third after this hammer-on down to the root note. You'll be familiar with this double stop, especially if you've worked with some of the double stop videos I have here. The song is in F. Or we're playing an F chord right now. The song is in B flat, but immediately that information of knowing the F double stop scale, all of that should be available to you, and then it would feel very logical that your fingers are going to this position because that is the 3rd interval of that double stop scale. So again, catch up a little bit if you're not following that and go back to some of the Eat Your Vegetables content that I have here. So anyway, following the melody, there's that slide into the double stop. That is so fun to play on the mandolin. To hammer on from that open E string onto the F note, because that's an interval. If you know your F scale in 1st position like you should, then you're familiar with that E note being the 7th scale degree of an F scale. So there we have it, those fundamentals really providing foundation right back to B flat. Then, as a lot of melodies do, or vocal tunes, instrumentals, all of this stuff, it's going to be repetitive. And now the crow line. So there we have, once again, the minor third to major third. Look what happens there. Minor third to major third over the F, which is 6th fret to 7th fret on the D string, also playing 3rd fret of the A string, so that we have a double stop. So it's the same phrase played over this F position, Then we have a little bit of chord anticipation going on. The band would not have went back to the B flat chord yet, but we're kind of moving into that shape. There we would be back to B flat. If we were counting that over the F, I stated the D note open to kind of help it resolve a little more back to the B flat chord. So there's that line that I know you've heard Crow play, and we all love that snappy delivery of it. So I'm trying to capture some of that. In the spirit of the delivery of it on mandolin. So this, to make it part of the Growing Through Bluegrass Standards series that I have going here on the channel, it's a great standard, man. This is one of my favorite solo vocal bluegrass songs of all time. And this break is really important. If you want to be able to play a good solid mandolin solo on this in a jam session, you should want that. It's important. But also just how many times that we have embellished around the minor third up to the major third with that slide, that can really be kind of the big picture takeaway with this particular solo. And hopefully you can sing this one yourself in B flat or one of your friends, and you could, man, this is such a fun tempo to play bluegrass, and just rhythmically to get in that groove at that tempo and just lay back and listen to the vocal. It's really an addictive thing to feel, and we want to be able to play that solo. The big part of the tune is just to have fun, like everything else, about doing this. It's in that spirit of fun, but it's a great learning device. This is a great vehicle for the movement of the 1-4-5 progression. All of those things, can kind of be studied using this song as a vehicle, but at the end of the day, it's just a fun song to do. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you keep tuning in.